Hello all, welcome to English Literature and Grammar Hub. Today we are going to discuss Romantic Period. The Romantic Period in English literature is dated as beginning in 1785. What is the speciality of 1785? 1785 is the age of sensibility. Or in 1789, what is the speciality of 1789? The outbreak of the French Revolution. Or in 1798, again the speciality of 1798 is the publication of William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge's lyrical ballads, and this period ends either in 1830 or in 1832, the year in which Sir Walter Scott died, and the passage of the Reform Bill signalled the political preoccupations of the Victorian era. So, the exact date when the Romantic period really began is difficult to point out. So there are 3 or 4 dates that is specified over here, and the speciality is also mentioned. So the period when the period ends, it is also hard to define. See, in this particular portion, it is said that the Romantic period began either in 1785 or in 1789 or in 1798. There are certain speciality for this 1785, 1789 and 1798, and it is normally concluded that the period ends in 1830 or in 1832. The term is often applied also to literary movements in European countries and America. Romantic characteristics are usually said to have been manifested first in Germany and England in the 1790s, and now to have become prominent in France and America until 2 or 3 decades after that time. Major English writers of the period, in addition to Wordsworth and Coleridge, were the poets Robert Burns, William Blake, Lord Byron, Shelley, John Keats, Walter Landor. The prose writers of this period include Charles Lamb, William Hazlitt, Thomas De Quincey, Mary Wollstonecraft, and Leigh Hunt, and the novelists of this period were Jane Austen, Sir Walter Scott, and Mary Shelley. The span between 1786 and the close of 18th century was that of the Gothic romances by William Beckford, Matthew Gregory Lewis, William Godwin, and above all, Anne Radcliffe. This is only a brief overview of Romantic period. See, now we are going to discuss Victorian period. See, the beginning of the Victorian period is frequently dated 1830 or alternatively 1832 and sometimes 1837. See, what is the speciality of 1837? The accession of Queen Victoria. It extends to the death of Victoria in 1901. So, I repeat, the beginning of the Victorian period is frequently dated 1830 or alternatively 1832 and sometimes 1837. It extends to the death of Victoria in 1901. Historians often subdivide the long period into 3 phases: early Victorian, that is till 1848, mid Victorian 1848 to 1870, and late Victorian 1870 to 1901. Much writing of the period, whether imaginative or didactic, in verse or in prose, dealt with or reflected the pressing social, economic, religious, and intellectual issues and problems of that era. Among the notable poets were Alfred Lord Tennyson, Robert Browning, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, Christina Rossetti, Matthew Arnold, and Gerald Manley Hopkins, whose remarkable innovative poems, however, did not become known until they were published long after his death in 1918. See, this man became popular after his death. Why? Because his works were published posthumously. The most prominent essayists were Thomas Carlyle, John Ruskin, Arnold, and Walter Pater, the most distinguished of many excellent novelists. See, what is the speciality of Victorian period? This period was a great age of English prose fiction. The most distinguished of many excellent novelists were Charlotte and Emily Bronte, Charles Dickens, William Makepeace Thackeray, Elizabeth Gaskell, George Eliot, George Meredith, Anthony Trollope, Thomas Hardy, and Samuel Butler. This is only a brief overview of Victorian period. Some of the prominent literary movements during the Victorian era: pre-Raphaelite movement, aestheticism, and decadence. Thank you.